The laws that determine your compensation after an accident can be confusing, but they can also work to your advantage. Harding & Associates specializes in accidents and injuries, and they know the ins and outs of these complicated laws. Call our help center now to see if they can help you maximize recovery in your case and minimize how much you have to pay out. The number's 303-218-BEST, 303-218-2378.
And we are back with Phil Harding of Harding & Associates. And Phil, he's an attorney. And Phil, we're going to briefly let people know why you are Colorado's best attorney.
Okay.
He's voted super lawyer again this year, voted one of the top 100 trial lawyers in Colorado at 6 years in a row.
6 years.
He's got the AV rated attorney, which is the highest rate that you can possibly get. He's a member of the $1 Million Advocates Forum. And national publications like Newsweek call you for information, and the list just keeps going on and on and on. So you give the advice that people can trust.
We're so proud of you, Phil.
We're here. The call center's open. We're happy to answer any questions, and this is your opportunity to pick our brains. Go over it, and it's free, no obligation. And I got to tell you, what we're going to talk about today, one of the biggest questions that I get is, if you hire an attorney, am I going to make more money versus doing it myself and taking out the attorney's fees and costs?
So you're going to give us the answer. What is the answer,
I am
Phil?
going to give you the answer. And as a matter of fact, the answer is yes.
Okay.
And I want to go over an example. And let's say someone only went to the ER once. It's going to be like a tale of 2 injuries. And so you go to the ER once, and they always send out a bill, and the bill is always higher than, and it gets marked down. It essentially says that there's $7,500 that's billed. If you went to the ER and you have health insurance, this $7,500 gets reduced by this $4,500. So the ER kind of eats that $4,500, but they have that built in, and the insurance company pays that $3,000. Now, I've got to tell you, if you just try to settle this case by yourself, and let's say you signed a release for the other side to see your medical bills, they're going to see that it was billed for $7,500, got reduced by $4,500, and the amount that was paid by the insurance was $3,000. If that's the only thing of the case, then the other side, the insurance company may offer you, and again, it's going to be the same scenario that we're going to go through, is going to offer you 2 times medicals. So they might say, great, we're going to give you $6,000. Now, the next thing I want to talk about here is compare it if an attorney represents you and you use this thing called the collateral source doctrine. Remember those big words that
he always uses these big words, Ken, and then he explains. Because you're a teacher. You teach this to so many people.
Right.
And how does that pertain to what we're talking
well,
about?
Well, and I also teach, to all of our viewers. I got to tell you, our viewers are some of the most educated
Smart.
ones. But essentially what the collateral source doctrine says, that if you have health insurance, which is considered a collateral source, and it does that reduction, remember we saw that $4,500 reduction? The other side does not get to see the reduction. And let's go to this other, I think we have something. Well, it's kind of there. But let's just kind of go through this verbally and talk about it. First of all, in that previous first graphic, there was $7,500 billed. The insurance paid $3,000. That $4,500 that was reduced, you do not show to the other side. You redact, which means you take this big black magic marker.
You hide it?
You hide it all because, and let me tell you why that makes sense. The reason why it makes sense is you've been paying for months and months and years. Here it is. Here's the graphic. So the bottom 2 things you don't show to the other side. You only show the top thing. But what I was telling is you were paying health insurance premiums for years and years and years. Because of that, you got that reduction of $4,500, right? Okay. It wasn't the other side's insurance company that was paying your monthly premiums, and they're not going to pay back your monthly premiums. So they don't get to reduce that. Now, I want to go over about that. So if you have an attorney, they're redacting all of that. Now let's talk about, you've got to pay back. So right now you're showing them $7,500 instead of the $3,000. And now here's the next thing that I want to talk about. If you hire an attorney, you have to pay back that $3,000 to your insurance, right? You have to pay it back. That's called subrogation. What you can do, use a law called Colorado's Make Whole Law, and we had a graphic, and let's see if we can get that up again. But essentially,
you've showed us this before.
Yeah,
what is the Make Whole Law?
The Make Whole Law essentially says, here it is, and it says the amount recoverable, if any, by the payer of benefits for reimbursements or subrogation, in other words, your health insurance, shall be reduced by amount proportionate to your attorney's fees and cost. So remember that scenario where there's $3,000 that you have to pay back?
Right.
Let's say you hire an attorney on a contingency fee, which is a third. That $3,000 has to be reduced by a third, so now you only have to pay back $2,000. But I want to go over, we have a final graphic I want to go over where it shows if you tried to settle the case yourself versus having an attorney. So here it is, look at on the far left side. Again, this is the same scenario, only 1 ER visit. You get 2 times med. So you get the $6,000. You have to pay back the $3,000 if you're just working by yourself. You net $3,000. Now, if you have an attorney, you show that $7,500 because you redact the other. Remember, we talked about that, collateral source doctrine. Then there's that subrogation. That was $3,000 because you have an attorney. It automatically gets reduced down by 1/3, so it's $2,000. You take out your attorney's fees, which is 1/3, and now it's $8,000. So you're getting almost 3 times as much if you try to do it yourself. And I got to tell you, here's one other thing. Because when you hire an attorney, you may have something on your car called MedPay, right? And I got to tell you, everyone has it on their car unless they sign a release. You get the MedPay to pay off the $2,000, and then you're netting $10,000. So I know it's complicated.
I'm going to make more money with Phil.
Yeah,
I'm
just
just
call
going to
in.
call Phil.
Talk to us right now. That's why we're here. We want to talk to you.
Yeah, and the call is free. We realize it's a lot to take in, but the bottom line is you can recover more if you're working with an attorney because they know their stuff. So call the Help Center now and speak with the legal experts at Harding & Associates to find out if they can maximize your case. 303-218-BEST, 303-218-2378.
And you can always ask Phil a question anytime, even in the middle of the night. Okay, just go to coloradosbest.tv and click on his photo. He will answer each question personally. He doesn't sleep. He's Superman.
I'll do it in the morning. I'll answer in the morning.
Do it in the morning. If you would like to contact Phil at his office, Harding & Associates, the number is 303-762-9500, or you can catch him online at hlaw.org.
Good advice. Coming up on